This is the plaintiff, Uday Ezenuka. He says he's known the defendant since they both entered this great country from Nigeria. And it hurts him to have to sue the defendant, but money is money. And what's right is right. He bought a car from the man. The title was all messed up on the thing. It didn't run properly, and he comes to find out it needs a new transmission. He wants his $4,333.02 back. The defendant refuses. So here they are. This is the defendant, Saeed Hafiz. He says the plaintiff doesn't understand that all you need in America is a title and you can register the car. He's being very problematic. He parked it on the street for a month without gas in the tank. Dust got in there. That's why it wasn't running. He fixed it for the plaintiff for free. Certainly isn't giving him a full refund, and he's sorry, but the plaintiff's in the wrong here. He's accused of unloading a hoopty. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $210 for a tow and repair.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff feels betrayed because his fellow Nigerian, a guy who emigrated to America with him, conned him over a car sale. But the defendant says the complaints that the car doesn't run are BS because the plaintiff caused it. It's the case of my countryman stabbed me in the back.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Mr. Uday, you are suing Saeed Hafiz
Yes.
for $4,333 that you say he owes you due to a car sale that, according to you, went very, very wrong. Tell me what happened.
Thank you, Your Honor. On the 4th of June, I called Saidi. He's a
How
friend.
did you two know each other?
He's a Nigerian. We've met before. We meet regularly.
Are you also Nigerian?
I'm Nigerian.
Okay, all right.
So we often meet once in a while. We say
Okay.
hi to each other.
Okay.
So on the 4th of June, I called him. I told him that I would like to buy a car.
And did you know him to be somebody who sells cars?
I know he's into a lot of things.
Okay. So you call him and you say, I need to buy a car.
Yeah,
And-
that I was going to buy a car, and then I told him I needed to buy a car because I don't have a dealership license and all these things. So he said he was going to help me out. And
Because you don't have a what?
dealership license to buy cars from certain sites.
Oh, because you wanted to buy one at an auction. And do you have a dealership license?
No.
Do you buy cars at auction?
Yeah, I do.
How do you do it if you don't have a dealership license?
There are a couple of individual auctions where individuals can just go register.
How many
for-
cars do you sell a year?
I don't sell cars.
Okay.
You
So
know,
you go to auctions just to browse?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
How many cars have you bought at auction in the last year?
Maybe what, 4 or 5?
All right. And have you sold them?
No, I don't sell.
What do you do with them?
I keep them for myself.
Will you go on with your story? So he helps you to buy a car, correct?
No, he didn't help me finally because he said he had a car that
That he
was
had
gonna
a car.
sell. Yeah.
And did he take you right to the car at that moment?
Yeah, he took me to the car.
Okay. And the
And-
car was what?
A Nissan Murano 2005.
2005?
Yes.
Nissan Murano?
Yeah.
All right. So you agree on a price of what?
3,500.
3,500?
Yes.
Okay. So how did you get that car?
Well, that car came from a dealer in Pennsylvania. So he sold the car through the auction. I got the car, I paid the tolls and everything. I drove the car was excellent. Clean title, paperwork, DVDs.
Okay. Hand me the paperwork from the car. Do you have paperwork from the sale?
Yes.
Did you have title for this?
Yeah, it's clean title.
A what title?
Clean title, it was okay title.
Clean title. Who is Deji Mustafa?
So that's the owner of the Copart account that
Of the
I
what?
use. The owner of the Copart account I use.
Okay, except for that I have paperwork from Copart that has 2 names on it. Deji Mustafa and his name.
Yeah, so what the other paper I don't have here because I picked up the wrong folder. So there's a title, that same paperwork is supposed to say Deji Mustafa only.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
So how does
that's
it
the
happen
one-
to say his name?
No, that's the one he has for registration. So that's the paperwork he needs to go get it registered.
Did you register this car?
That's where the story began. Because when I paid for the car, I signed a title that looked like this, which
Okay.
had Deji's name on it. So I asked him, I was like, there's a name here already. So what's going to be the implication if I put my name here as a co-buyer? He said he was going to go and get me my own title with my own name, so I can go and get my own registration and title. So as soon as I put my name there and signed it, he left. He came back with that same title I signed and that bill of sale.
Can I ask you a question? Did you
Yeah.
register the car? Was that what I asked originally?
I did.
Yeah. Did you register the car?
I finally got to
Why
register.
finally? What happened the first time?
Because there was my name and Deji's name.
And Deji's name.
Yeah,
So
so
where
I
did you go to register the car?
I have a driver's license from New Hampshire because that was where I was.
So you
before.
drove from
No, I didn't drive.
from New York to New Hampshire?
I took a bus.
You took a bus to New Hampshire
Yeah.
and
Because I
registered
couldn't-
the car in New Hampshire so the insurance would be cheaper.
No. I have a
Because your license is from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you go to New Hampshire, and are you able to register the car the first time?
The first time, no.
Why?
Because Deji's name was there, and then if I register it, I would have to register my name and Deji's name.
Okay. So instead, what do? You come back and you tell him I can't register it.
I called him.
And what does he tell you to do?
He told me to tell them that Deji, he gave me Deji's ID card, and he said I should tell them that Deji is outside, and he can't come inside.
Did you tell him to do that?
No.
I have a text for that.
Did that work?
I
Did you go back to
I didn't do that, but what I did was I told him, because I told him that I can't do that, because if anything goes wrong, I'll
And so what'd you do?
I told him that Deji can't come, but he has given me his driver's license, but he's indisposed.
Wait, did you register the car then?
The second time, yeah, I did.
So the first time they wouldn't let you do it because Deji didn't sign it, and the second time you said Deji's outside, he didn't feel like coming in. Ah, yeah, no problem. Really?
I had to do that because when I said to him, this
Did
car,
did somebody sign for Deji? Is that what happened? Somebody here signed for Deji and pretended to be Deji?
I signed for Deji.
Yeah, you signed for Deji. So you falsified the title. All right, so now it's titled in your name only, right? Like it should be.
in our
Everybody
name.
agrees it should be titled in your name only.
It's in our name still.
In whose name?
My name and Deji's name.
Deji owns a car still?
Yes. This is the title here. He said if I get this, then he can refund my money to me.
Who's Mustafa Deji? Deji Mustafa. Who is that? That's the person whose
account owner.
license you were illegally using, or person who actually had a right to be at that auction. So you went in as him?
No. It's Copart. Anybody can use it. Anybody can use it.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is unusual. Who is Deji Mustafa?
Deji Mustafa is the owner, is the first owner of the car. So it's two things
So
that
he's
happen.
not, when you say he's the original owner of the car, he only owned the car because you're using his thing to get in here. How does he get this guy's name off his title?
This is the situation. Deji Mustafa is the owner of the account.
Why is the guy whose account you used to go to Copart and buy stuff, why is his name on this man's title?
Because he's the co-buyer. All he had
No.
to do...
No. Nobody cares who buys from Copart. What he wants is a clean title. One where he's the only guy who's the owner. Okay? Why is there another guy's name still as the owner?
The reason why is because he was a co-owner.
Why can't you provide clean title that gets Deji Mustafa's name off it?
I don't make titles. DMV make titles.
Oh, no. Here's what you do. You don't seem to understand. See, when you sell a car, you have to be able to give a person clean title. Do you know Deji Mustafa?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then why wouldn't you get Deji Mustafa's signature on it so that he wouldn't end up being an owner with Deji on a title?
He just got... This is my first time seeing that title. I haven't seen the title.
Well, what was the title you gave him? What did it say?
Deji Mustafa only.
Was it signed by Deji Mustafa?
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Because
he knows Deji Mustafa.
If he just
He
went
met
with
him.
a title signed by Deji Mustafa, they would have just registered it. What was? Show me the text he sent you. You are slick. By the way, what happened with the car? It turned out to be garbage?
The car also had a bad transmission.
So now you have to buy a new engine and a transmission? Or just transmission?
Transmission, yes.
And that's how much?
It should be in the range of 4,000, according to what Nissan said.
Who's Fizzy Felamon?
That's Afiz, that's his name.
You can hold my money for all I care, but I will not be your errand boy. And this deal will be deemed fraudulent if you don't produce the real seller by the end of this week. And he answers, yes, Judge. You say, good night, bro. You ask him when you're trying to get it registered, who is the seller of the car you sold to me, please? He doesn't answer. Then you say, please, I paid the sum of $3,500 for the direct purchase of the car and not as a co-purchaser. There's so many irregularities, kindly address them. And then he doesn't answer. And then you say, please, I would need the name and address of who you said is the seller of the car. You've asked me to implicate myself by giving false information to DMV, which I refuse. However, the car which you took payment for is stuck with me unusable. I am kindly seeking your cooperation to resolve this. He answers, bro, nothing is wrong. It's a process. All we need is follow the steps over there or after we get title or we go to New York and we finish it. No excuse for ignorance. No implication. You just being stubborn on yourself for no reason. To which you answer, I might have been ignorant, but I won't remain silent. If you say there's a procedure, one thing is sure, your title shows me as a co-purchaser, which isn't what it should be, and that is the major obstacle here. So what'd you end up doing? They gave you paperwork to show that Deji sold it to you, and then you ended up signing Deji's name?
The second time, yes.
You could legitimately do it rather than forging the guy's signature, right?
I didn't forge, I just wrote his name there.
Okay, that's called forgery. That's called forgery.
No, but...
No, stop. You need to understand that is a forgery. You're not allowed to pretend you're Deji and sign an official document that goes to the government. That's a problem for me. Where's the car right now?
It's with him.
How did he get the car?
I mean, the car has...
How did he get the car?
I drove it to him, and I gave the keys to his sister.
Is the car with your sister?
No.
Where is it?
He abandoned the car on another street.
Where did he abandon it?
On another street.
Okay. Did he give the keys to your sister?
He gave the keys to my sister.
And then what happened with the car since then?
I never touched it.
It's still on the street?
Yeah.
He was supposed to...
Wait, everybody stop. So the car's still on the street?
Yeah.
Did it get towed?
Sanitation already marked it for tow.
Sanitation already what?
Marked it up for tow.
Marked it to be towed, and has it been towed? When was the last time you saw it?
I think 2 days ago. I didn't check it.
Court's in recess.
All rise.
So if the seller can't convey the legal title, is the buyer allowed to automatically undo the sale, get his money back?
I believe so, but this is America, so it doesn't happen, especially in LA.
You don't think it happens in LA or New York, seriously?
No, I think that...
It's a ridiculous idea that someone who will buy a car from someone who they're not going to get a title, that's a stupid idea.
It is a stupid idea, but I guess the question, can you undo the deal going inside the courtroom?
I want to understand the amounts in your lawsuit. You're suing for the $3,500, which I know is what you paid.
Yeah.
Then you're suing for a fuel filter, brakes, and fluids for the car. How long were you driving the car?
1 day.
What day did you buy the car?
12th of June.
12th of June.
Yeah.
What day did you pay for brakes, fluids, etc.? Show me the receipts. You've got a counterclaim against him for $210 more. Tell me about that.
The car was supposed to be sold at $3,600.
Yeah, but you didn't sell it at $3,600.
He bought it at $3,600.
You bought it at $3,500.
$3,600. He's owing me $100.
Why did you give it to him if he hadn't paid for it?
He's not a stranger.
Why would there be exactly only $100 oddly missing?
That is one of his tricks. He paid me 4 times for this same car. I didn't understand that it was up to a scam that he wants to...
He's scamming?
Yeah, that's what he does.
Okay, first of all, you're using someone else's account, which you don't have a right to do. You're pretending to be, you're going to this auction and using someone else's account. Why do you think that you have to register and have an account? So it can be a regulated business. And yet you're going over there and using someone else's account in order to buy a car, and then that someone's name is on the title. You know what's odd? During the recess, what I did was contact the state of New Hampshire, the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles, to try to understand how it is that something very odd is on this title. It's you or Deji Mustafa. Not and, but or. So I asked them, what does that mean? And their answer was, well, one or the other could transfer the car. Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's all you got to do after you forge. Yeah, there's only one problem with it.
The owner signed that title.
Hey!
The owner signed that title.
What part of don't talk do you not understand?
All right.
There's only one problem with that. You could take this right now, and you can sign it over to yourself and not Deji. But the only reason you can do that is because you forged Deji's signature to begin with. And I don't allow a fraud to continue to perpetrate itself. Now, typically, when someone does a fraud like you did, I would turn around and say, you got a lot of nerve asking the court to help you because you have what we call in the law unclean hands. And when you have unclean hands, when you do something wrong, you can't come to the court and say, oh, help me, I've been wronged. When you turned around and forged the signature, I didn't forge, I just wrote it. But the only hands more unclean than yours here are his. Because he's the one going to an auction he doesn't have a right to go to, buying a car he doesn't have a right to buy, and then telling you to be his errand boy, just like you said in the text. To go do this, do that, get this other paperwork. All you got to do now is make a fraud, and then everybody's going to be happy. No. So guess what? This isn't his car. This is your car that probably has been towed by sanitation. And I am ordering you to return every penny that he put into it. $4,333, because the first wrong that happened here is that you didn't convey clean title. That is my verdict.
Well, the plaintiff is going to get his money back, $4,333. What are you thinking right now?
Nothing. The judge doesn't know everything, so that's good.
Well, she said you didn't have a right to sell the car, but didn't have a clean title.
It was
your problem.
No, it's not my problem.
Yeah.
It's not my problem.
You know, this didn't make you look very good at all. You didn't have the right to buy the car.
No, that was the judge. I have a right to buy the car. I have a right to
There
buy
is a problem there, though.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, there is.
No. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
We disagree. All right. Udaya, step out of here. You're going to get your money back now.
Yeah.
You feel good? Feel all right?
To me, I feel this case has lingered for a while, but in my mind, justice delayed. This shows that justice delayed is not justice denied, and I'm happy about the verdict.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. Thank you very much. How about that, Harvey?
I mean, look, the plaintiff is dirty here by forging the title, but the reality is that if you can't convey title, you get your money back.